Welcome to CEO Money TV. Thanks for joining us. My guest today is Alicia Robb, CEO of Next Wave Impact. Alicia, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, my pleasure. Driving diversity in early stage investing in venture capital is your focus, but I would like you to bring that out for our viewing audience so we get a better feel of who you are, what you're doing, and what your team is trying to accomplish in your industry sector.
Sure. Well, we're actually trying to drive diversity in early stage investing. If you look at the percentage of businesses that get venture capital, only 2.6% of them have a female CEO. And so part of the reason why we feel women and minorities get less venture capital and early stage investment is because there are less women and people of color on the investing side. So Next Wave Impact is really seeking to drive diversity on that funder side and bring more underrepresented groups into early stage investing.
All right. Give me the future of what are the steps in accomplishing this goal and as we go into the future is what I was trying to say.
Sure. Well, we ran 2 pilots in the United States and Europe that brought together nearly 200 women into 2 early stage venture funds, and we made about 18 investments. Europe and the US are now on their second funds, and we for example, the U.S. has 99 women, 25 women of color in our second fund, and we are making early stage investments in a learning by doing method that trains women how to be early stage investors alongside experienced angels and to create this portfolio of investments.
Now, I know you're in Boulder, Colorado. To give me the scope of the geographic scope of the people, where they're coming from, the women that are now becoming more prominent in the private equity sector, the early stage investment sector.
Sure. Our 2 pilots had women from 25 countries and 23 states in the United States. Our new fund has 99 women from 8 countries and 22 states in the U.S. But our investment focus is companies based in the U.S., and the investment focus of the Europe Fund is to invest in Europe.
I know one of your funds is investing in meat or plant-based and you're using investments around the meat industry. Can you open that up for us?
Sure. I'm actually a venture partner also in New Crop Capital, and our investment thesis there is to disrupt animal agriculture by investing in meat alternatives. So either plant-based alternatives to meat products and other animal products like eggs and dairy, as well as cultured meat or clean meat, meat products that actually are grown from DNA from cells of animals, but don't involve actually animal husbandry.
Open that up for me. I'm interested because there's got to be other alternative forms of food besides just using meat. You know what I mean? The keto diet is huge and it's great, but let's open it up to more than that.
Yeah, animal protein is a really inefficient source of protein, so we want to focus on plant-based alternatives. So everything has protein, and so we are looking at different sources of protein like cauliflower or pea protein, garbanzo beans. So there's a lot of different protein sources that can be made into products that mimic the taste and texture of meat. So plant-based alternatives is one investment strategy of ours, and the other one is cultured meat. So how can we grow meat, actual animal flesh, in laboratories and vats, basically, to produce meat, but not have to involve raising and killing animals.
That's the next stage investment. What kind of returns are you expecting on that kind of venture?
It's a huge market. People from Richard Branson to Bill Gates are getting into the mix here, and so there's a lot of startups in this space. It's still early days. It is being currently produced, but just not in a cost-effective manner to reach the wider market. So that's really on the horizon. It could be 1 year, it could be 10, but it's definitely the future of food, and it doesn't involve factory farms. It involves clean meat production in factories that don't have animals.
So I imagine you're using a lot of clean room technology on that one.
We're using a lot of what?
Clean room technology. In other words, there's got to be a sanitary a scientific enclosed environment in order to make sure that it grows, doesn't develop bacteria or other contaminants. Am I right?
Correct. And it's been successful in producing hamburger, duck, chicken, fish. And so we are really excited about the potential for that in the future because right now we do not have a sustainable food system, and we're going to have to continue to grow up growing planets in terms of population. And the only way we're going to do that is to disrupt the current production methods.
That's impact investing. Are you a forerunner in the development of that type of impact investing?
Yeah, impact investing is something that seeks to have social benefit in addition to financial returns, and certainly anything in the clean meat or plant-based protein options is considered impact because we're going to have a huge environmental impact and social impact through health and wellness.
What should people do if they want to become an angel investor? That's another thing that you do, and you help coach people like this.
I do. So our funds are learning by doing, and so it's a learning environment. The Angel Capital Association is the trade group for angel investors in the United States, and they have a lot of training and resources on their website. So I would reach out to the Angel Capital Association website, and there's a list of angel groups around the country. There's also online trainings and ways to get involved in the early stage investing ecosystem.
What about gender lens investing?
So gender lens investing could be anything from investing in women-led companies to investing in companies that have gender parity on the board or in the C-suite, to investing in companies that have an impact on women and girls. So it could be a lot of different things, and there's a lot of opportunities both in the public markets through ETFs and mutual funds that have a gender focus, as well as gender lens investing in early stage investment. We look at ourselves as a gender lens impact fund because we are looking at driving diversity and bringing more women into angel investing, and by default we see a lot more women-led companies, and so we have a definite higher proportion of women-led companies, virtually all of them in our investment portfolio.
Alicia, you're obviously a pioneer in this. The history goes back a long ways, but I'm glad that you're leading the charge on what this is going to turn into. Before we sign off, is there any other messages that maybe I hadn't thought of that you'd like to bring out before we close?
I don't think so. Thanks for having me on the show and letting us raise awareness about plant-based alternatives and gender lens investing.
Thanks for
I'm passionate about both.
Thanks for being a guest.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. You've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon.